Hi parents! For today's activity, we will be talking about the letter V, and we're also going to be making a painting kind of based on the sunflower painting that Vincent Van Gogh made. So your child will need a large piece of white paper. If you could fold it in half like this, I'm using the back of something, but if you could fold it in half so they have a line down the middle, that would be great. And then some different colors of paint. So green for the stem would be great. I picked out brown, kind of an orangey brownish color, and a yellow. Red would be nice if you didn't have those colors and you wanted to use red or orange, that's fine too. I also have a light brown that I'm going to be using for the vase, but basically three colors, kind of in those color schemes. A thin paintbrush and a bigger paintbrush, and then a black Sharpie, which you'll probably want to use, and a pencil. All right, thank you. Hi friends, it's Miss Dana from TLC Preschool in Gilroy. I'm sure glad you're here with us today. I'm going to read you a story and talk about the letter V today. Now our story is about a very famous artist that lived a very, very, very long time ago. And he lived so long ago, he's older than your mom and dad. He's even older than Miss Dana. He's older than your grandparents. He lived so long ago, and his name was Vincent Van Gogh. So we're going to read a story about Vincent Van Gogh, and then we're going to talk about the letter V, because Vincent and Van Gogh both start with V. So the story I'm going to read today is called Camille and the Sunflowers, and it's a story about Vincent Van Gogh. It was written by Lawrence Anholt, and I believe he was also the illustrator, and it was published by Barron's. Where Camille lived, the sunflowers grew so high they looked like real suns. A whole field of burning yellow suns. Every day after school, Camille ran through the sunflowers to meet his father, who was a postman. Together, they would lift down the heavy sacks of mail. One day, a strange man arrived in Camille's town. He had a straw hat, a yellow beard, and quick brown eyes. "I am Vincent, the painter," he said, smiling at Camille. Vincent came to live in the yellow house at the end of Camille's street. He had no money and no friends. "Let's try to help him," said Camille's father. So they loaded the cart with pots and pans and furniture for the yellow house. Camille picked a huge bunch of sunflowers for the painter and put them in a big brown pot. Vincent was very pleased to have two good friends. Vincent asked Camille's father if he would like to have his picture painted dressed in his best blue uniform. "You must sit very still," said Vincent. Camille loved the bright colors Vincent used and the strong smell of paint. As Camille watched, his father's face appeared like magic on the canvas. The picture was strange, but it was very beautiful. Here's the picture. And that's a very famous painting that Vincent Van Gogh made. Vincent said he would like to paint the whole family. Camille's mother, another famous painting, his big brother, and his baby sister. And at last, Camille himself. Camille was very excited. He had never even had his picture taken with a camera. Camille took his painting to school. He wanted everyone to see it, but the other children didn't like the picture. They all began to laugh, and this made Camille feel very sad. After school, some of the older children started teasing Vincent. They ran along behind him as he went out to paint. Even the grown-ups joined in. "It's time he got a real job," they said, "instead of playing with paints all day." Camille sat for hours watching Vincent work. It was very hot, but Vincent worked fast. He painted the sunflower fields and even the sun itself. "He is the sunflower man," said Camille to himself. But no matter how hard Vincent worked, he could never sell any of his paintings. If I had a lot of money, said Camille, I would like to buy them all. Thank you, my friend, laughed Vincent. One afternoon, as Camille and Vincent were coming back from the fields, some of the children from Camille's school were waiting. They shouted at Vincent and threw rocks and stones at him. Camille wanted them to stop, but what could he do? He was only a small boy, and at last he ran home in tears. Listen, Camille, said his father, people often laugh at things that are different, but I've got a feeling that one day they will learn to love Vincent's paintings. That night, Camille had a strange dream. He saw Vincent standing in the moonlight high above the town. Vincent had stuck candles on his hat so that he could see. The sunflower man was painting the stars. And if you look back here, this is a very, very famous painting that he did called Starry Night. Early the next morning, Camille was awakened by a loud knocking at the door. Some men from the town had come to see his father. Listen, postman, they said, we want you to give this letter to your friend. It says he must pack up his paints and leave our town. Camille slipped out through the back door. He ran down the street to the yellow house. It seemed very quiet inside. Then Camille saw the sunflowers he had picked for Vincent. They had all dried up and died. Camille felt sadder than ever. Vincent was upstairs packing his bags. He looked very tired, but he smiled at Camille. Don't be sad, he said. It's time for me to paint somewhere else now. Perhaps they will like my paintings there. But first, I have something to show you. Vincent lifted down a big picture. There were Camille's sunflowers, bigger and brighter than ever. Camille looked at the painting. Then he smiled too. Goodbye, sunflower man, he whispered, and ran out of the yellow house and into the sunshine. Camille's father was right. People did learn to love Vincent's paintings. Today, you would have to have a lot of money if you wanted to buy one. But now people all over the world go to museums and galleries just to see Vincent's painting of the yellow house, of Camille and of his family, and especially the picture of the sunflowers. So bright and yellow, they look like real suns. And this is a picture of Vincent Van Gogh down here, but he painted it himself. So we're going to make a picture, and I'm going to meet you over at the table over there, and we're going to make a picture together based on the sunflower picture. So go on over to where you have your art set up, and we'll do that together. I'll see you in a minute. We're going to start by doing our project today. And today we're going to be making a Vincent Van Gogh painting. Well, something similar to Vincent Van Gogh's painting. So we're going to start with a piece of paper. And you should have a fold down the middle of your paper like I do. So that's the middle of your paper. I'm going to use a black Sharpie, but I'd like you to use a pencil. And then your mom or dad could go over part of it with the black Sharpie when you're done. But I'm going to use black so you can see it better. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my middle part. And I'm going to draw kind of a little line across. So it's supposed to be about even on either side. Okay. Then I'm going to go down and we're making our vase. So sometimes vases just go straight down, and you can do that, make a line. Sometimes they have a shape to them. So I'm going to kind of make mine go down a little bit, like a line, and then kind of a little circle like that. Or kind of a curve, not really a circle. Down, and then a little circle like that. And that's my vase. Now I'm going to use, I have kind of a light brownish color. You might have other colors, and that's really okay, all right? I'm going to use kind of this light brown color and my bigger brush, and I'm going to paint inside there the best that I can. And you might want, after you're done, after everything is dry, then you might want to have a grown-up do your black for you, okay? Let this all dry, and then they might want to add the black to it after that. I'm going to draw a line down here so that I don't get it on my whiteboard underneath. I'm just kind of painting my vase. Okay. So I have my vase face all painted. Okay, now you have some different little shapes. You have one that has probably some thin little lines done. You have some that has a triangle. You have some that have bigger ones. And you have some colors of paint. So I have yellow, I have a brown, and I have an orange. Whatever 3 colors you want to use is totally fine. Okay, so I'm going to take my stamper, and I think I'll start with my yellow. And I'm just going to kind of put it on like this. I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to put it on there. See if I can get it to stamp a little better. This might be easier. You're going to kind of press on those. Okay, then I might do one more yellow. Might need a little bit more paint. Like this, and I'm going to kind of go around to each one and kind of press on it a little bit. And you can see it's not perfect, but it's going to be kind of cool looking when I'm done. Okay, this one looks a little different. Then I'm going to take another one, and maybe I'll do this one in my brown. Up here, and I'm kind of twisting it a little bit, and then I'm going to kind of press it down. And lift up. Oops, I forgot to get that guy. Here we go. And then I might do it again, make another brown one. Keep missing that side over there. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to do my orangey kind of color that I have. In the middle here. I'm going to press down. Maybe I'll do another one down here. Okay. And then you might even take like your kind of brownish color and make a little center. Or if you have red, might be really pretty in there. I'm just using what I have right here. That's the fun thing about art, is it's okay if it's different. Okay, then you should have some green paint. Let me wipe my fingers a little bit. You should have some green paint and a thin brush. And you're going to take your green paint and we're going to make some stems. So, draw a stem down into there. This one I think is probably leaning over a little bit. Draw my stem in there. And you might have more flowers than I have on here, and that's okay too. I just did a couple. Bring my stem down. Big one up here. Let's see, I think I want that stem to go this way. This one. This one's going to go in here too. You might even want to add a few leaves. You can do that by just kind of drawing a little triangle thing. That looks a little like a leaf. This one over here. And there is my Vincent Van Gogh inspired art. You can kind of see how it looks a little like his. Kind of like his. Okay, I'm going to go clean up my hands. I've got some paint on my hands, and then I'll meet you back here and we'll talk about the letter V. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, we're going to talk about the letter V. To make the letter V, you start at the top, boppity bop. You go down and up, and then again over here, down and up. So the lowercase and the uppercase V look very much the same, only one's big and one's little. And the V says V. So if I put my kind of teeth on my lips, my bottom lips, I can say V. And that's the sound that the V makes. So some words that I thought of that start with V. We read a story, and do you remember what the man's name was in our story. His name was Vincent. So I need to capitalize his first name. And his last name was Van. And is it one? O-G-H. And you know what? His V on his last name, this one is a little one. Vincent Van Gogh. Okay, and then we have some other words. Let's see, I have a van. Some of you go to preschool in your van. And if you have a dog or a cat, that sometimes they go see a vet. And sometimes you might be in the car listening to some music and you might say, turn up the volume. I want it to be louder. And your mom might say, that is very loud. Or I love you very much. Let's see, are there any other words I can think of? That's what I've got on the top of my head. I know we've got a couple kids in our class that have V in their name. We have Eva, I'm going to capitalize her E, but hers has a V inside her name. And we have Calvin, has a V in his name. All right, let me go ahead and circle the V's that we found. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I found 8 V's. I'll write my 8 up here. There's my 8. Okay, remember the V says V, and we talked about Vincent Van Gogh. All right, I have a song I want to share for you. Let me get that ready, and I'll teach you the song, and then we'll be done for today. Okay, the song we're going to do is called Each of Us is a Flower, and it's originally done by Charlotte Diamond, and it's on her Best of Charlotte Diamond album, and it's also on one called 24 Karat Diamond, and it's one we've done at school several times, so some of you may recognize it. There are some hand movements. Some of them are sign language, some of them are things that I've made up, but we're going to use this for when it says flower, because it's all about each of us is a flower, so I want to see your face with the flower. So each of us is a flower, growing in life's garden. Each of us is a flower. And then it's, we're going to hear about the sun, we're going to hear about the moon, we're going to hear about the rain and the wind. So I think those are pretty much all of the signs. There might be a few more that I stick in there, but I think you can sing it with me. It's pretty easy. All right, so here we go. You ready? Here we go. Each of us is a flower, growing in life's garden. Each of us is a flower, we need the sun and rain. Each of us is a flower, growing in life's garden. Each of us is a flower, we need the sun and rain. Sun, shine your warmth on me. Ooh, fill me with your night. Wind, bring the gentle rain. Ooh, dig my roots down deep up. Each of us is a flower, growing in life's garden. Each of us is a flower, we need the sun and rain. Each of us is a flower, growing in life's garden. Each of us is a flower, we need the sun and rain. Sun, shine your warmth on me. Ooh, cool me with your night. Wind, bring the gentle rain. Ooh, take sun and rain. Each of us is a flower growing in life's garden. Each of us is a flower. We need the sun and rain. We need the sun and rain. We need the sun and rain. Cha-cha-cha. Well, that was fun. It was fun to hang out with you guys today. We talked about the letter V. We talked about Vincent Van Gogh. We made a beautiful flower painting. I hope yours is dry. You could add your black to the edges now. If your mom wants to do that, that's great too. And we got to sing a song about being a flower. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and get outside, pick some flowers, plant some flowers, and have a wonderful day. See you next time.